The Dakota is coming back. Not as a rumor, not as a concept floating around auto shows. It's confirmed, it's got a badge, and it's moving fast toward a 2027 launch under the Ram nameplate. After years of the mid-size truck segment running without Stellantis in the mix, that's about to change in a big way. The company is serious about this one, and today we're breaking it all down. What we know about the new Dakota, where it fits in the market, and whether it actually has what it takes to go up against the Tacoma and the Colorado. Let's get into it. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Filling the gap in a hot segment. Mid-size trucks are not a consolation prize anymore. For a long time, the segment had this reputation. Something you'd buy if you couldn't quite afford a half-tonner, or didn't really need one. That thinking is long gone. The Tacoma consistently moves over 200,000 units a year. Colorado had its best sales stretch in a while. Ranger is back and relevant again. This segment is legitimate, it's growing, and the buyers in it know exactly what they want. And Ram has been completely absent from it. That's a strange thing when you think about it, because Stellantis builds some of the most respected trucks on the road. Ram 1500 is a class leader. The heavy-duty lineup is a workhorse with a serious following. But drop down to mid-size class and there's nothing with a Ram badge on it. That gap has been sitting there for years, and every time Tacoma sales numbers came out, you could almost hear the question, why isn't Stellantis in this fight? The Dakota answers that. It fills the one obvious hole in Ram's portfolio, and it does it at a time when the segment is arguably more competitive and more exciting than it's ever been. Buyers who want something smaller than a 1500 but still want that Ram DNA, now they have an option. Official details. First things first, this is a Ram, not a Dodge. That's worth saying clearly because the Dakota name carries Dodge history, and a lot of people are still wired to think of it that way. But the truck coming in 2027 wears the Ram badge, sits in the Ram lineup, and follows Ram's direction as a brand. The Dodge connection is nostalgia at this point. What the company has confirmed is that it's a proper mid-sizer, not a compact, stretched unibody crossover truck. Dakota will be in the same class as the Tacoma and Colorado. Production is headed to the Toledo Assembly Complex in Ohio. That detail matters more than it might sound. Toledo already handles the Jeep Gladiator, which means the facility knows truck production, knows body-on-frame builds, and has the infrastructure already dialed in. The originally rumored Belvidere plant in Illinois is out of the picture for this one. And then there's the NADA show. Ram brought prototypes, actual physical trucks, and showed them privately to a select group of dealers. No press, no cameras, no social media service. Just a closed-door look for people Ram trusted to keep quiet. And they did. No spy shots came out of that room. No grainy photos, no sketches. That almost never happens in this industry, and it tells you something about how tightly Stellantis is controlling this reveal. What should we expect? There are some things we already know, and a lot more we would like to find out. On the powertrain side, the Hurricane is the name everyone keeps coming back to. Specifically, the new 2-liter turbocharged version, capable of producing 325 horsepower and 335 pound-feet of torque. You can already find this engine in the Grand Cherokee, so it's proven, it's in production. Dropping it into a mid-size truck platform makes a lot of sense. A V6 is still technically possible, but it's looking less likely as the Hurricane family keeps expanding across Stellantis products. The more interesting question is whether a plug-in hybrid shows up. Jeep has been sitting on the 4xe for the Gladiator for a while now. It keeps getting pushed back, kept off the table. Could be that the technology is being saved for something with a bigger launch moment, like the Dakota. Styling is expected to pull cues from the Ram 1500, which is one of the better-looking trucks in the full-size class right now. But don't expect a shrunken half-ton. Inside is where Ram has a real advantage to press. The half-tonner's cabin set a new standard, and the competition has been trying to catch up. If some of that language carries over to the Dakota, it will be a step above most rivals in terms of comfort and overall refinement. Expect a range of builds, from base grades at the bottom to well-equipped premium trims and off-road variants. One thing that probably won't make the cut: a true workhorse with a single cab and a long bed. That configuration has basically disappeared from the midsize segment across the board, and there's nothing pointing to Ram bucking that trend. When it will be available and how much it will cost. The truck exists. Ram isn't pulling prototypes into closed-door dealer meetings for fun. The Dakota is close to the finish line. Fine-tuning stage means the design is locked, the engineering is settled, and Toledo is getting ready. A 2027 model year launch is very much on the table, and it could come sooner than most people expect. Pricing should open right around $32,000 to $33,000. That puts it shoulder to shoulder with the rest of the midsize crowd from day one. Higher trims will push into the low 40s, but that base number is the one that matters. It tells buyers Stellantis is serious, and it gives cross-shoppers a real reason to walk into a Ram dealership for the first time. Thank you for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.